Let's go. You know what time it is. Panel time. And of course, I am just Arthur Moats, retired linebacker of the Steelers. But more importantly, I'm only cool because I have two awesome people here with me today completing the panel. And we got to start off with the doctor, because how many people know somebody with a PhD? I'm talking about the Dr. TaNeisha from @Really Flawed YouTube channel. Absolute rock star. You better believe it, all right? And then, every time I see you, I got to just, I need some glasses, you know what I mean? Some glasses, because I see this just beautiful, just gold, just trophy behind you. And that's, ladies and gents, for those that don't know, we call those Emmy award-winning trophies, okay? And you have to be a very special individual to ever even be considered for an Emmy, let alone win one. And this gentleman right here actually has done that, all right? And I'm talking about the WRAL Channel 5 Emmy award-winning producer in Raleigh, North Carolina, Mark Bergin, who makes the show just even more spicy. So let's get it.
Well, you know, I thought it was cute how you tried to throw in NFL vet at the beginning, hoping that was going to be good enough for us, but it is not good enough. So let me introduce you to the one and only Arthur freaking Moats, everyone. This is Arthur Moats. He played in the NFL. He already told you he played in the NFL. But because he said that, I will just have to say he is also a family man. He is a devoted family man. He is a husband. He is a father. He is all of those things as well. This is Arthur Moats. We would not be here without him because of his incredible time spent on the football field. Mark, what do you have for the one and only Arthur Moats?
Arthur Moats, Ryan Glenn, Daquan Felton, Charles Grant. All professional athletes. What do they share in common? Graduate of Churchland High School in Portsmouth, Virginia. The one and only Arthur Moats, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice. He dropped the Charles Grant. Let's go. Hey, listen, you dropped some names right there. All right, Charles Grant being the most recent, the newest of that fraternity, man. He got drafted by the Vegas Raiders this year, man. Look at you, Mark. And just a little subtle thing, all right? You actually pronounced it right. It's Portsmouth. You pronounced it right. Most people say Portsmouth. I love the fact that you actually said it like how us native 757 Portsmouth people speak it. So I appreciate you for that, Mark. All right. And TaNeisha, I don't know why you over here talking about Arthur freaking Moats. I am not even like that. Okay. I'm just Arthur. Okay. Please,
yeah.
Arthur.
Well, you tried to steal my line whenever you were like NFL 4. I was like, oh, is that what he's trying to do? He's trying to beat me to the punch. Okay. That's cool.
I'm going to just read off my Wikipedia next time I come up here when I intro you. I'm just read the whole thing. I'm going to be like, all right, guys, y'all ready to go now? We're good. Yeah. We're good. All right.
You do that, and you just wait to see what comes out of our mouths next. Okay, we are always ready with more. Don't you worry about it.
Hey, like Arthur, the reason I know how to pronounce it correctly is even though I'm from the Chicagoland area, I've lived in the South long enough to know where it's just like,
there we go.
You have to add a little bit of Southern twang to certain things.
Come on now. You speak of my language, Mark. You speak of my language.
Louisville, it's Louisville. You know, it's not. Yeah. It's same thing with Knoxville. I've just lived in the South long enough to know to where it's like you have to have a little bit of gift of gap. You have to know the dialect.
Yes,
you gotta know the dialect. Yeah,
look, shout out to
for the culture, a little bit Mark. On it. Good for you.
That was your part right there. I was waiting on you to drop the quote, like. For the culture, Mark, you speaking it, all right? Come on now. Right. Yes. Mark lit up.
You know, it's so funny. It's so funny. For the culture, it's almost like I, for the longest time, never really understood the term gaslighting. And it's like, oh, are you being gaslit at that time? I'll be honest with both of you. When we use the phrase for the culture, I'm not exactly sure what it means, but it makes me happy when it's like, oh, when it makes sense. So I think I'm beginning to better understand what for the culture is all about. So
man. And look, you in the right direction. I love it. I love it. All right. So let's go. And speaking of directions, right? Because I do love the fact that us as a collective, we in the right place. But the team that we keep covering, the team that we like to have a lot of fun talking about, I mean, this is what we do when we talk some Steelers ball. Do we like the direction that they are in? Do we feel like we know which direction they're actually in or going? What we at right now? Because we're 3 weeks now into free agency. We've had the initial pop. We've had the like secondary wave. Okay, shout out to the secondary guys. And now we're in that little lull of, are we about to start turning that page to the draft, or is there still some stragglers out here we got, in consideration? So how we feeling about this? We'll start with the Emmy Award winner tonight also.
We had a pretty long, drawn-out conversation about Rodgers and the quarterbacks on last pod. So, operating under the assumption that he's back, and I think that's how pretty much everyone is operating at this point. We'll see. Time will tell. I made a list for tonight's conversation of where the Steelers go from here. And so, assuming Rodgers comes back, I'm already looking ahead to the 2027 draft class. I read one headline and it goes, historic draft class when it comes to quarterbacks. The three names, Arch Manning, Dante Moore, and Texas Tech's Brendan Sorsby, formerly of Cincinnati transfer. So those are the top three, but they're already calling it a historic draft class. So assuming Rodgers comes back, maybe the plan is load up your team now and then go get your quarterback next offseason. I know Steelers fans don't want to hear that with 12 draft picks and the draft being in Pittsburgh, schools are canceled and all of that. But then the immediate needs beyond quarterback and Rodgers, and depending on where you want to go, left guard with the departure of Isaac Seumalo. Still, okay, we have Michael Pittman now at receiver, but who's playing slot at wide receiver 3? Running back 3, and it's not so much that I don't have confidence in Rico Donnell, Jalen Warren, Caleb Johnson, I have a huge question mark by, because whoever that running back 3 is will need to play a role on special teams. And then I also want to know who the new tush-push quarterback is going to be. But beyond that, I think Pittsburgh is in a position to draft for best player available when we get to the NFL draft, which starts on April the 23rd in Pittsburgh. So Steelers in a pretty good position, all things considered. And again, I'm operating under the assumption that Rodgers is coming back, but feel free to dive in however you want. So let's go. My short list of where I think and what the roadmap is of what the Steelers offseason is between now, minicamp, training camp.
When you say best available,
hold on real quick, TaNeisha. I'm gonna let you go real quick, but hey Mark, I just love how you're always the guy that tells us, man, I don't want to wish my life away. Hey, look, man, I really want to be here.
But in a year from now,
2027 draft.
Yeah,
how are we already in 2027 draft, Mark? God,
I'm talking about big picture, long term quarterback solution of.
Yes,
and I'm talking about the guy who you're going to get a jersey for your kid, right? That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the Steelers.
If Aaron Rodgers comes back, I'll be honest, I might need to go ahead and get that jersey just as a vintage,
just
type
confession. TaNeisha, is this a safe space, guys? It's a safe space. You ain't gonna judge nobody, right?
Well, sometimes you get nervous when I start talking.
I don't know where you're going, Arthur.
I'm just saying because, like Mark said, 2027, then that'll be a quarterback or somebody that you can get their jersey. Some of us got a lot of we got a Kenny Pickett, a Justin Fields, a Russell Wilson. It's an Aaron Rodgers in here as well. I just need to communicate with you guys. I got it. He's 10. Okay. He'll be 11 next month. He loves jerseys. Okay. Hey. So we got a lot of jerseys, a lot of 1 year. Hey man, that's a new legend. Okay. Yeah. We got a lot of 1 year Steelers legends. Trubisky. Yeah. It's like that sometimes. Okay, guys.
I want to let TaNeisha go. If Fields starts week 1 for the Chiefs, if Mahomes isn't back by then, he will make history. 4 different teams in week 1 in 4 seasons. So Bears, Steelers, Jets, and then potentially Chiefs if Mahomes isn't back on time. I thought that was a really good move for Kansas City.
If I was Mahomes, I'd be like, no. For what? No, absolutely not.
But anyways, Patrick Mahomes. What I think.
Mark, you said the Steelers are in a position to take the best available. Do you mean the best available at 21 or just the best available?
Whole draft.
Okay.
Because other than left guard, quarterback is obvious. And again, I want to have peace of mind. I'm in a good state right now with March Madness in full swing. I'm glass half fulling this just under the assumption Rodgers is back. Rodgers isn't back, then it's just we have to figure something out.
But I would say this though, regardless of Rodgers being back or not, does that really force us to take a quarterback at 21 though? If we're just simply talking about these
because of the draft,
you see what I mean? Yeah, I'm
just because of this year's class.
Yeah. Well, for me, when Rodgers comes back, because at this point that's where I'm at, right? I'm speaking it. when Rodgers comes back, I'll be getting a Rodgers jersey. So that's cool. I haven't had a jersey since, I think, Troy Polamalu's jersey. That's how long it's been since I purchased a Steelers jersey. So that will be one thing. But the other thing I was thinking, Aaron Rodgers and Will Howard did their little charity event. So that obviously means he's coming back. And that obviously means that Rodgers is handing off the keys to Will Howard, because that is what that means. Because you don't go to a charity event with, the quarterback that might take your job if you're not friends with him and you don't care about him. So that means Aaron Rodgers is developing Will Howard, so he's coming back. That is what I'm thinking and feeling in this point. So because all of that is happening, for the draft, I will never back off of Sonny Styles. I just won't. Sorry. But I definitely would want to see, at 21, I want to see something dynamic. That's my hope. I want to see something like wide receiver that's dynamic. I think that checks two things really for me, but I really want to see a dynamic player at 21. That would be my hope and dream, because Aaron Rodgers is coming back and we have Will Howard. So we already know that that's figured out.
Hey, I want to hop in. I think TaNeisha made a really good point, because I think about when Ben was the quarterback and they brought Mason Rudolph in, and Mason Rudolph and Ben Roethlisberger, it was like oil and water. I'm just going to be and you can look up that history, and especially some of the offseason comments that Joey Porter Sr. made about Ben, and then Mason
Mark,
Rudolph.
why are you so freaking good at this, Mark? You're way too good at this, Mark. This is why you have an Emmy, okay? You research all this stuff, man. God, dog, you're not supposed to be bringing up the fact that Mason Rudolph was in the comment section on the video. All right, you ain't supposed to be doing this, Mark. God damn, Mark. God.
He was.
I wasn't say anything.
And so,
Mark, I'm like, come on, man.
I like to see quarterback room kumbaya. I think that's good for the team. I think that's good for the franchise. I think that's good for the mojo. I just think that's like it's a positive thing. And my point being is that did not exist in previous seasons with this franchise. And again, I'm talking about Ben and Mason and what is now history. I mean, it happened years and years and years ago, almost a decade ago now. But I think that's a really good point by TaNeisha about the charity event. Is there anyone specifically? I mean, I know you've mentioned Styles.
Multiple.
Who at 21? Who at 21 would you like to see the Steelers get? Because it's like, who knows if he'll even be around by that point.
So I honestly, every day I'm like, girl, you need to make up your mind. Stop playing the fence here. I honestly can find a reason for them to get any of the receivers that are considered top 10 receivers. I think they all have their different advantages. Some of them are faster than others. Some of them have better route running than others. Some of them are taller than others. I feel like on that one, I'm going to kind of trust the Steelers a little bit, because I don't think there's a bad pick. Now, if they go somebody that's not receiver, and it's not Sonny Styles, I might be looking around going, okay, unless it's like Caleb Downs, and I still would be questioning that because I don't really love it. So I'm just hoping it's like a dynamic receiver or two. That would be fantastic. Because in my fantasy world, and if this happens, it's going to be another thing I hit on. I, some reason, feel like the Steelers are going to come up and do something. I don't know why I think that. I don't know why I feel that way, but it's just holding on to all these draft picks. It's like,
that's it.
What else are you going to do with them?
That's it.
So again, I could be insane and they're like, no, but it's setting the stage for, and I think, I haven't said this publicly because it's my team, I think they've done a great job in free agency. Almost to the point where I'm starting to look around and be like, okay, check that off the list. All right, check that off the list. And so now I'm kind of like, we don't want those 12 draft picks. That's too many players. So what are we going to do? So if you give some of those up or give something up and move up and do something, anyways, that's kind of what and what a better place to do that than in freaking Pittsburgh, like in the city. The crowd's going to go crazy. Everything's going to go crazy. Somebody from wrestling should run out and do something crazy. If there's a wrestler from Pittsburgh, he should run out and announce the pick. Okay, now I'm just getting beside myself. But anyways, that's kind of how I feel.
It is.
Part of where I'm at, part of where I'm at too, and Arthur, we'll have you hop in as well. With Broderick Jones coming back from neck surgery, I'm also like, potentially if there's a tackle there, but then what does that signal about your confidence, not just in Broderick Jones' recovery process to play for 2026, but what that means for his future in Pittsburgh, because his rookie deal will be up before Troy Fautanu. So that's something else I'm kind of keeping in the back of my mind, because while they need a left guard right now, for positional value, it's almost like running back. You wouldn't draft a guard in the first round of any NFL draft, regardless of how talented the prospect is. So that's also kind of percolating in the back of my mind, because we're all also just operating under the assumption that, like, yeah, Broderick's going to be ready to go again, coming off of December neck surgery.
Yeah, man. When I hear that, for me, and I do love the fact that both of y'all, I like directions. All right, shout out to the direction. Because for me, man, I'm mixed, you know? It's like, man, as much as I would love wide receiver and I can see the need, especially the dynamic receiver you're talking about. Heck, I was even at an event this weekend, man. Shout out to the U Prep City League champ team, man. But they was in there fired up. You know what they told me, TaNeisha? They want Zachariah Branch. Okay. They said we need that speedy little in and out slot receiver from Georgia. And I was like, oh yeah, the one from USC. Love him. Okay. But that's the one that they was like, yo, that's the guy we want. All right. With Pittman, with DK, because the size. And I'm like, you know what? I don't hate that. Y'all know that was one of the names I had brought up when we first came in. I'm like, yo, I like that receiver, man. He's a good guy, okay? Because y'all were feeling it, KC, right? We'll take it. I was like, I ain't gonna bring him up tomorrow, all right? TaNeisha was like, I don't like that one all the way like that, all right? So I said, cool, I can learn. I ain't tripping, okay? I ain't tripping. But for me, O-line. I'm looking at O-line and I'm saying to myself, what is the severity of the Broderick situation? Sometimes because it haven't been updated since the combine, and when we heard Omar speak of it, it didn't sound promising. It didn't sound like he was about to be ready in a month. Sound more of like, hey, we'll see what it looks like by the time the season gets here, was kind of how I was receiving it. I don't know how I feel about that from a comfort standpoint, knowing if our best case scenario going forward is Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback. I know I have to have him protected, because we saw what happened when he didn't get protected, right? Regular season and even in that playoff game. So I look at the tackle position, and as much as I would love to go guard in the first round, what Mark was said was accurate. It's hard to justify taking guard in the first round, very similar to taking a running back in the first round, even though the guard position to me is the bigger hole, because if we feel like Broderick can come back, then if I draft another tackle at pick 21, I've created a logjam. And what am I doing with Broderick now? Are you going to be just swing tackle? Are you going to forever be viewed as a wasted pick? What does, like, that part is hard to justify also. But to take a guard at 21, it's like, man, why are we taking a guard at 21? Take a wide receiver, go get that guard in the second round or something. And that's kind of my dilemma here. But O-line is really where I keep getting drawn back to, and I keep getting drawn back to tackle. But what does that do for Broderick if we do that?
It's not
and that's
just
the scary
that.
part.
It's not just that. Depending on who you draft, you have the possibility of moving Fautanu from the right side to the left side. And what does that do for his development as well? Yeah. So that's another thing to consider in all of this. But right now, at the left side, if you're the Steelers, you have a huge question mark. And Arthur, to your point, 40-plus-year-old Aaron Rodgers, who doesn't have near the mobility he had earlier in his career, that gives me pause for concern. And at the same time, too, I'm like, well, wait a second, though. The Steelers drafted in back-to-back drafts, first-round picks on tackles, and then we need another one again. So that's when I'm just kind of like, they've got to figure something out with that. But
is getting another one again a bad thing, though? Like, we say that as if that's bad, but we wouldn't stop drafting quarterbacks just because we missed on Kenny Pickett. We're going to still keep drafting them. So it's like, man, you keep going until you hit. That's kind of how I'm looking at this thing. And it's like, if you have to go and do it again, are we going to be looking at it saying, come on, man, why we got to do this again? But if we know we need this position answered, and this season is only going to go as far as they can protect whoever the quarterback is, or in this scenario, Aaron Rodgers, that, to me, I'm kind of like, man, I don't care about what we've done in the past, man. Go get this guy that can protect him, and we'll figure out everything else a year from now.
Where I'm at is I wouldn't want to have a first-round pick sitting on my bench. That's how I think about that.
That's
so
definitely
maybe Broderick, maybe one could slide inside with that left guard. I don't know. TaNeisha, what say you?
I was just looking up our picks, because what number picks do we have for
21,
the second
21,
round and the third round?
It's 21,
there's
21,
3
and then
third
12
round
in the
picks.
We picked 12 overall in the third, and then I think 21st, and then it's another. I forgot the third one.
Because I'm wondering I'm just wondering who would be there at 21, and then who would be there at 21 compared to who would be there at that second round pick. if like, what is the value? Is the value, I mean, and we all know how this goes, right? You start to watch a draft and you're like, all right, all the guys we want are going to be gone. And then what was it 2 years ago? All of a sudden quarterbacks started being picked. And then everybody was kind of like, oh my gosh, what is this? Like, how do I even navigate? So for me, I do agree. And if you feel like you might, I don't know if I'd want to spend a first on that. If we could spend a second, but again, it kind of depends on how that draft is flowing, because you might be able to steal a second, a really good talented
it would be
tackle.
the 53rd. It'd be the 53rd overall selection in the second. If we stay put right now.
See, I like that being a tackle. I just think I was harping on this offense for a long time. I believe Mike McCarthy's an offensive guy. And I believe that, I know offensive tackle is an offensive lineman position, but our struggle so much was in that secondary, getting separation and doing all the things we need to do. For our receivers, that for me, it's like, what is going to be the most important of what we have going on? And then for the paying structure of having Broderick already there, it makes more sense to go get a second, because it kind of alleviates that initial, like, a first round is getting paid differently than a second round. They just are. And so I'm just curious to see how they maneuver through that. But the good or bad news is, if they pick a tackle in the first round, we're going to know what that means for Broderick. We're going to know either it's not good, he's not looking good to come back, or something is not working the way they wanted it to.
Yeah. And then what does that do for his trade value if you have a glut there too, to where, look, I get that injuries happen, but then you have a first round pick sitting one way or another, whether it's Fautanu, Broderick Jones, or whoever they end up drafting. But then what does that do to where, if you want to make a trade, what can you get back? Arthur Hoppin.
So quick question. Do you think the Steelers would take a tackle at 21 if Broderick would be able to return this season?
That's what I would like to think no, because to me, it doesn't make any sense at all.
So no, we're on the same page. So that was just in the sense of what we're talking about right there in terms of the trading, scenarios. Like, I don't see that scenario happening, because if Broderick is healthy enough that you could trade him, why the heck are we drafting a tackle in the first round anyways? We're going to figure it out the first couple of weeks. And it's like, yo, all right, bro, let's go. So that's why for me personally, I feel like, man, what you just said, TaNeisha, is spot on. We're going to know what is going on with Broderick first round of the draft. If they take a tackle at 21, that lets all of us know, hey, this neck thing is a lot more serious than what they're letting on to be. If they don't touch a tackle in that first round, all right, cool. We fine. They at least feel like he has a chance to come back at some portion, even if they wait till to the 53rd pick, right? You still feel like, man, it wasn't as pressing. And that goes back to now when we're talking about, if that is the scenario, I almost feel like you got to go wide receiver at 21 if that's the case, because we keep saying we want to take a guard there. Even if we feel like the guard is the better player between the two, we just feel like that position doesn't have the same level of value as a wide receiver does.
Right.
I'm torn right now. I'm really, that's where I'm at right now. It's like, man, what's going on with Broderick?
Right. And it's because we don't have any, we don't have the details, right? We can't see the reports and the doctors and we're not in those conversations. So it's like, if I could hear a conversation, I'll go this way. But since I can't hear a conversation, I'm just trying to use my knowledge of what might make the most sense. Similar to Rodgers. I mean, I have a literal disdain is a very strong word. I have a issue with the quarterbacks that are coming out right now. That's not to say any of them won't be amazing. So for me, because I feel that way, I'm already like, okay, Rodgers is coming back, because I don't even want to go down the path of one of those guys, because then I feel like then it knocks off everything that I'm thinking. And I'll be honest, I don't have the courage to go down that path. I would rather play it safe.
TaNeisha, are you not okay with watching guys develop?
I am living in my fears.
No, TaNeisha, not fears. Are we too good to allow players to develop?
No, they can develop. I just like the Rodgers option better.
I don't mind watching Will Howard develop. I don't mind.
He can develop.
I don't mind watching any of these quarterbacks we might draft this year. Come in here and develop. Come in here week 1 and develop. All right. We can get a chance to see how they can improve, and we would know their storyline. Is that really a bad thing, TaNeisha, to watch people develop? Watch where they started, and let's see, can they get...
Absolutely.
Mark, where do you land on that, Mark?
I just had to suffer through a year of arch banning developing, and it was rough. Okay, everybody remembers the skip pass
right now.
Everybody remembers the skip pass in week 1. Okay, everybody collectively was like, "What was that?" When he skipped past the ball against Ohio State, we were all there. We all saw it. We all were like, "What was that?" He did develop. He did get better. But I also remember how I felt throughout the season. And that feeling that I got throughout the season made me a little uneasy. So that's why I'm like, Rodgers is coming back. That's just what we're doing.
Where do you fall on this development stance, man? Are you okay with watching a quarterback come in here and develop? Or are you like, yo, man, give me something that's already past the learning part?
No, TaNeisha and I already have our Arch Manning Steelers jerseys on pre-order.
Let's go.
Oh, no.
You know I'm going to get one. I'm a sucker for jerseys, all right? We're going to get one.
No, I was joking around. I said the 2027 draft in like round 6, I think, several weeks back. We'll see how he Dante Moore and the Texas Tech QB are the top 3 as it stands right now. Obviously, a lot like preseason, a lot of that can change throughout the course of the season. They're saying the same thing about Nussmeier out of LSU going into the 2025 season. Look where he is
the
now.
only one.
So,
jeez.
Yeah. No, Rodgers. At least for 2026, give me Rodgers. That's what I'm hoping for. And then beyond that, it's just like, whoa.
And I finally have been able to pull up the draft. So we have picked 21. I think that says 53. I think that says 76. Does that say 83?
Yeah.
And then like 90 something.
So what is it? 76, 85th, 99.
If y'all could see my screen right now, it is
I already know. I got you. Teamwork. You know I got your back here. All right. So we got the third in the third round, pick 12th overall, which is the 76. We got the 21st overall in the third round, which is the 85th overall pick. And then our third one is the 99th overall pick.
See,
then we got the 3 additional ones in the 4th as well. What you got?
Both of you have the Steelers picks up. I have famous Churchland High School alumni up on my machine.
Oh my God. Why are you like this?
I should pull up Arthur Moats' family history, all the amazing things he's done for his family. Since he took away the football line.
Famous Churchland High School
what were you
alums.
thinking, taking away my football line? Were you trying to be slick and slide that in there? Then I had to come back with it. That was cute. Like, what was that? I'm like, this man.
Just on occasion, you know what I mean? I was just like, let's just try this. Let's see what happens. All right.
Trying to steal my line.
It didn't work. It didn't work, but it was a cool attempt. Okay. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
That's
so
true.
I would just
also, I don't know if I've ever told this audience though, too, with Mark here. Arthur Moats also has 16.5 sacks in the NFL. So I'm just calling that out, that Arthur Moats has 16.5 sacks in the NFL, just in case anybody was curious, wondering kind of, what he did when he was there. So.
Hey, but don't worry about this,
it's pretty
guys.
cool, though, like Brett Favre, Cam Newton. Colin Kaepernick's on that list. I mean, some quarterbacks that have played in Super Bowls, have won MVPs.
There it
Runs
is.
a Hall of
Mark,
Famer.
why are you naming names? Listen, man,
that.
all right? The only name we need to be worried about is Arch Manning 2027, okay? That's
well, the good news for Arch is
to
we
get on
won't
the
be there
pre-order?
to sack him, Moats.
I'm on the list. Get me on the list, man. Get me on the pre-order list. Yes. Jeez.
Oh, gosh. That's hilarious.
I've got 2 veterans out there at the guard position who are still free agents that Pittsburgh could sign. Both these players are in their 30s.
Ooh, okay.
Joel Bitonio, he's a 7-time Pro Bowler, played in Cleveland
They didn't sign him back?
Yep.
So 12-year pro, 178 starts. I mean, still has plenty left in the tank. His pass block win rate this past season, 3rd best among the 65 qualifying guards.
Yes, indeed.
He could be kind of expensive, though. Again, he's a 7-time Pro Bowler. Hasn't been an all-pro in a few seasons, but still think has some, he could help a team, no doubt, with veteran presence. Then Kevin Zeitler as well, another veteran guard in his 30s. Played last year for the Titans as well. And pass block win rate 92.4%. That was his lowest since 2020. But I think those are 2 veteran players who played in the AFC North. I'd be more preferential to Bitonio just because he's played in the division, and I think he's got a little bit more left. But I don't know what you'd be able to sign him for realistically. I'm sure he's going to want more than just a veteran's minimum, but there's two guys out there right now that you could go get where it'd be plug and play.
I truly love the fact that you had specific names. If you didn't say Zeitler, I was for sure about to be like, yo, you don't like Zeitler? What's wrong with him, man? Now, granted, he is the older of the two, but both of those guys, man, would, like you said, be plug and play. Obviously, Batonio, man, has been in this division for a while, man, and we know he's a good player, man. So would he come in here and help us out? Absolutely. I am with you. I do think he costs a little bit more, but as it stands today, granted, we have spent more money because obviously Michael Pittman, but we still don't have that anchor at quarterback killing us right now. And I think that opens the door, because if you are a free agent right now and you play guard, it's like, man, is your value as high as you might think it is? I don't think so. So in that space, I do think that you could maybe even get him for a little less than what his market value might be. And I think that that's something that could be appealing to him. And if you're telling him, hey, dude, I know you've been in the division on the losing side for a long time. How about you come to the winning side? And what better way to stick it to them than by signing with us to remind them that, hey, dude, they decided to let you go. As crazy and as dumpster of a fire as they've been, they figured they were better without your services. So come on. That's
Arthur,
how I'm looking at it.
What's that like playing against your former team?
Oh, you love it, man, because you think of everything I literally just said. You think of all the good moments, but then you're like, it can't be real, because if it was real, you would have brought me back. If I was that type of priority, you would have made sure that the compensation reflected that, regardless of any excuse that they say. And it's no different than being in a relationship. Man, if you love that person the way that you say you love them, your actions will reflect that, regardless of what you might lip service. Like, no. Show me actions. And when you don't get them actions, you start to act. And I think that that's one of the things that we loved as players. It's like, hey, all right, bro, you acting funny? Okay, y'all don't want to resign me? All right, well, I'm going to take my talents over here, and I can't wait to play y'all. And if you're lucky, you get to play them multiple times, all right? And yeah, you remember all the moments, man, okay? So for sure, man. Yeah, it was actually weird, man, because I actually got one of my pictures up, getting back on one of my bills. Yeah.
Because you were in the NFL, which actually is interesting too. What's actually interesting too, I was just kind of sitting here thinking, what would that be, the fourth person on the Steelers team that you will have played with when you played football? Joe Batonio,
this is true.
Cam Hayward,
Thank you
Aaron Rodgers, TJ Watt. Did I forget anybody?
Actually, Chris Boswell as well. Okay, I was part of the Chris Boswell movement. Yeah, don't forget Boz. Okay, that's my dog. That's my dog. Yeah, so don't you do that. Okay, don't you do that.
Guys, Arthur Moats used to play with when he used to play.
Look, us old guys, we aging out. You heard the names that we just listed. Okay, these are guys that are older. Okay, we're a little longer in the tooth now.
We call them experienced.
Seasoned.
We call them experienced. Seasoned. Yeah, the more we need experience in this division. Yeah. So shout out to you for playing in the NFL for 9 years. Wow, that's amazing. Woo.
Anywho,
that is absolutely amazing. So, Mark's not paying attention, so this is just
I am. I'm trying to
This is all about you at this point. Whenever he's ready, he'll interrupt me.
No, we're about to actually talk about something important. I actually wanted to bring this back to you guys, okay? Because of all this other talk we've been having about what we do in the first round, obviously what we want to do draft-wise, and if we think that would be the next move. But we focused a lot on offense. Is there anything left that we think we would want to address defensively at this stage? Or are we kind of cool with where we are, also taking that into the draft as well?
Sonny Styles.
I mean, because I know you said Sony. I heard you. I heard you. I heard you.
Hello. Him for sure. And really anything that we can get. I just feel like we've done a lot of things to really help our defense this year, and I really like Patrick Queen. I think keeping Patrick Queen is huge for our defense. And I mean, if they go get another pass rusher, another defensive lineman, like if they go get guys, yes. I just feel like our needs and our like pressing situations more lived on the offensive side of the ball. Now I expect them to get defensive guys. I'm just not as pressed about them because I figured like we have a little bit more leeway. The offense, I was just kind of getting a little worried.
This is where I keep saying you can
hold on quick though, Mark. Hold on real quick.
Sure.
So I like what you're bringing up with Sonny Styles. I guess my question is, do you just like him as a player? or are you identifying linebacker as an issue? Because I think there's two different things.
I'm not willing to say right now that linebacker is an issue. I have just been doing a ton of rewatching of all the things that I said throughout the season because I'm working on something bigger. And one of the things that kept coming up out of my mouth throughout the season was something about the linebacker group. And I would ask you several different ways and different occasions, like, is it me? What am I missing? And there were some times where I was like, are they soft? Like, it was one of those situations where it would just randomly kind of nag me a little bit. And so I might be identifying a need. I just don't know. I don't trust myself 100% to say yes, but it is something that I can kind of hear myself in the background nagging about, because I had my moments this season where I was like, oh, what is going on with those guys? Like, what was that? So I think yes. But maybe I'm wrong with that. At the end of the year, they look better than the beginning of the year, but yeah, that's a different conversation for a different day. Cause yeah.
I just had to ask, all right, because you referenced and brought the name up multiple times, and I'm just like, I know what position he plays. Okay, I don't play wide receiver. He don't play quarterback. He don't play running back. Okay, so figure out ass. Now, Mark, I didn't mean to cut you off, baby. How you feeling over there, man? Talk to me now.
This is why I keep saying they can draft best player available, because to me, there's not a glaring need. If there is, it would be A gap, B gap. I say it every single week. In addition to, like, in the season, I talk about the time of possession. But when I talk about A gap, B gap, it's the continued reliance upon Cam Hayward in his mid-30s now. And I'm with TaNeisha in the linebacker play, where there was some inconsistency at that position group in the 2025 season. Now, is that all on the linebackers? No, that's also incumbent and reflective of the defensive line. And again, the continued reliance on Cam Hayward. That's where it's like, it's not a specific position that you need, but if you have a really talented player that can help your defense out at any position for Pittsburgh, that's where I keep saying you can draft best player available when it comes to that side of the football, because there's not a glaring need at this moment in time. And injuries can obviously change that, but you've got depth at edge rusher. You have a lot of depth at defensive back now, too, with a lot of the free agent acquisitions and moves that the Steelers have made, too, something we also talked about last week. So that, to me, is where, again, you can draft best player available. I'll be a broken record in saying that, but that's just how I think Pittsburgh has positioned itself as a team going into the draft, and it's a good position to be in.
I like that.
Is there anybody that you all would be annoyed with if we draft? Like, if the draft happened, rolled around, our first pick was like a tight end, I would be annoyed. I would be like, what are we doing? Like, I would be like, what are we doing? Like,
TaNeisha,
this doesn't fit anything.
No, TaNeisha, that is not accurate. You would only be like that if we happen to take Carson back with the good eyes. Come on, man.
Why
we're taking that big 21 just a little.
Why? What are we doing?
Carson, what is it? The sleepy eyes, and then he got Kyler Murray last week.
That's my little friend, man. I like him. My favorite little guy. Yeah, I like him. He's cool, man. He's like a mix of like Scrappy Dude and like what was my oh my goodness, Speedy Gonzalez. Yeah, he's like my little just beat. Like, that's my guy. Like, I love that. Or it's like Scrappy Dude, because Scrappy was always tough. Like, Scrappy won't big like Scooby, but he always had heart. He'd be like, yo, Scrappy, you got to Scrappy Dude. Like, yo, all right, let's go, baby. So when I look at Kyler, I'm like, yo, Kyler should not be able to do some of the things that he does out here in these games. And the way he moves and runs around to his sling. I saw him beat my Buffalo Bills with a Hail Mary. I'm like, yo, how did you even see the guy? But that's what he does. Okay. So for me, I'm a believer in it. And I like it. So that's why I call my favorite little quarterback. Yeah.
If we were
with all due respect.
Okay, can I ask,
with all due respect,
who's your favorite big quarterback?
Oh, hey. Now we getting spicy over here. Okay. Well, that's an easy one. Okay.
Who would that be? Would that be Josh Allen?
He was the reigning MVP, but now the MVP from a year ago. Yeah, okay. Man. That's my big body guy. Excursion right there, man. He pulled up like a Cadillac Escalade. It's like, yeah, baby. But one of them OG like Ludacris 2000s with the spinners. I want to with the spinners on my joint. That's Josh Allen, man. Heck yeah.
All right, go ahead, Mark. Sorry.
If we were working in radio, we would have a sound drop of Arthur saying, Arriba.
I'm
just randomly.
I wish we had the sound drop button. I could just push the button.
And then he continues to say it like he means that. Not just like, oh, did I just say that? He's like, no.
Some people throw stuff out there just to like feel. I'm like, no, like this is with passion. Like I really mean it when I say this. And that's why when y'all look at me, I'm like, no. Like, am I weird for this? No, this isn't weird. Y'all are weird. Okay, I make sense of it.
Besides the fact that he's a grown man and you're saying that, yes, it's a little weird, but it's fine.
Arthur
is Call of Duty, right? Y'all get him for playing the games. Oh, no. So I just lean all into it then. All right, yeah. He probably watches Cartoon Network and eats a big bowl of cereal on Saturdays like I like to do, okay? I like to put on Cartoon Network, have my jammies on, and I go eat me some y'all the same ways.
Mark, we need an adult in the room, please.
A Tom and Jerry, and
Come on,
that was
man.
always my favorite. Is Josh Allen's face on the currency in Buffalo?
You see it, right?
Yeah,
that's the man.
Yeah.
Okay, the man. Put him on the state flag. All right, just yeah.
Should be.
It's because it's only one team. It's only one NFL team that plays in New York. So you know what I mean? Like just he's the face of it.
Facts.
He's the face of it, man.
For the longest time, I didn't even realize it was in New York.
Oh yeah.
I was like, "Where's Buffalo anyway?" People were like, "New York." I was like, "Where?"
TaNeisha, look, TaNeisha, you're not the only one, okay? Yeah. I can very much remember. Oh, you got drafted by the Bills. Oh, we going to New York City, baby. Yeah. Oh yeah, New York City. Yeah. They said, no, you're going to Canada. I'm like, where? How does that work? So yeah, TaNeisha, we're on the same page, all right? Yeah, it's like, oh, this is very different than what I envisioned. Yes.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. So all good. Now, TaNeisha, something that more recently had been popping up, man, that I do want to get you, since this was inspired by you over here, Ice. I want to make sure I give you credit on this thing, man. But we do know that there were some NFL rule changes that were proposed, and we're getting into a little bit of the weeds of it, a little thickness of it. So if you want, if you want to take the lead on this one, man, go ahead, drop how you feel it and everything, and set the table also, because there are a couple of rules that I think are worth having a conversation about.
Yeah. So there was 3 rules for the 2026 season to start. So one from the Browns, one from the Steelers, one from the Rams. Basically, the Browns want to allow for more 5-year limit on draft picks or on free agent moves or whenever, I guess, really, instead of 3 years. So right now, if I made a trade, I could add it to the 2020, let's just say 2027 draft, although 2026 hasn't happened. They want it to be further out, which
they want to go to,
that's one thing.
5 years.
Yeah,
they
want
3 to 5
right
drafts.
Now it's 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the Steelers want to be able to FaceTime or have one direct video phone call with up to 5 unrestricted free agents before it actually opens. So in the window, when everyone's kind of like negotiating and talking, they want to actually be able to talk to these people, and they want to actually, make travel arrangements and do things before, get that all solidified before everything starts, because right now you can't do that. I don't know if people don't know that, because I had to learn that last year. Like, you can't have real contact. It's a lot of negotiating kind of happening behind the scenes. So the Steelers want to bring it more to the forefront. And then the Rams are suggesting capping the replay speed. And so they want it to be a
shout out to the Rams, man.
Yeah, they want it to be more like in game, like aligning more with the game instead of it just being like such an off, I guess. I don't really, this is one of the rules where I'm like, okay, I need somebody to visually show me this so I can see if I agree or disagree.
From what I had went and read more of, they're basically like, at least the way I interpreted it, when the play is blown dead.
Okay.
In theory, somebody up in the booth would have a 40-second clock that they would press start on, and you have 40 seconds from when the play is blown dead to throw your challenge flag. Not how it currently is, where you can literally wait up until the ball's about to be snapped to now decide to throw the flag. So the Rams, because of this past year, late challenge kind of changed that trajectory of the game. They feel like, hey, if there was a time limit on when you could have thrown that challenge flag, you got to make that decision a lot sooner. And that pressure could potentially deter teams from doing it. So I had to look that up too, because I was like, it's not making a lot of sense, like what they're asking, because it's still kind of vague in the sense of like how they would execute it. But that was at least how I interpreted it. But which one do y'all want to talk about first, though, man? How y'all feeling? Which one you want to get to first?
The Browns. I just think that 3 years is fine.
It's just Deshaun Watson. It's Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, it's Deshaun Watson.
That's to me, this is the Deshaun Watson rule of Cleveland's got one more year of Watson on the books, and this is a way that Cleveland can position itself to. They would argue exactly, dig themselves out of a grave. If you make bad decisions as an organization, you're just digging yourself a deeper grave in terms of being able to trade draft picks, not just 3 years from now, but up to 5 years from now. Like,
I have a credit card that's maxed out, and let's get another credit card to now pay that one off, and we get another. It's like, hey, bro,
and let's extend the credit limit on the credit card that we already have a ton of debt on.
So I don't like the first one. I do like the Steelers proposition where it's like, can we at least talk to these guys, get them in here to fly out? Like, I do like sometimes I feel like we lose. I know the NFL is a business. I got it. But I think sometimes we strip it down to so much that it's a business that we forget that these are human beings with families and lives and things like that. I don't have a problem with that, with having that phone call, or especially if it's just 5, it's like your top 5 or whatever it is. Like, why not? I didn't understand the harm in this, and maybe somebody else has a different perspective. So for me, the Pittsburgh one, I was like, yeah, why don't, that seems like an easy fix to me.
So the reason why it's being proposed is just they're trying to bring everything to the forefront. When they first brought up the legal tampering period, remember, that wasn't a thing 5 years ago.
Okay.
That when I was playing, that was So 10 years ago, that was when it first became like a legitimate thing of you are legally allowed to have conversations 3 days prior to free agency opening up, or the new league you're opening up. Other than that, it was this cloak of nobody talks to nobody. But then as soon as free agency hits, hey, we got all these mega deals done. Everybody has flights booked. And it's like, okay, guys, where's the can we at least lie and make it look a little bit better? Like, just try. And that was the first step. 3-day legal tampering period. So now they're trying to take it a step further and say, okay, let's legitimize even having FaceTime meetings. Because as I hate to say it, but do you think they're gonna give a guy 4 years, $80 million and never have talked to him beforehand?
Absolutely not. Yeah.
And do you think I'm going to sign and move across the country and I've never had a single conversation with you? Not one time. But hey, I'm taking 5.
And maybe you've never even been in the city before.
You catch what I'm saying? So it's more of we want to bring this thing and just make it more legitimate. We want to get rid of and I'm sure along the way, there has been little things that have taken place in terms of agreements that have been reneged on, different things that now people feel, hey, put feet to the fire a little bit. Let's try to do this. Let's try to organize this a little bit. I'm sure behind the scenes, maybe I don't know the exact thing of it, but there is a reason why they're even asking for this. But for me to act like, man, dudes don't have conversations, to act like you didn't, it's just not realistic. Okay.
Here's where I'm at. Here's where I come down with that is it's the whole a fisherman teaching you to fish type thing. When I look at Patrick Queen getting the most lucrative free agent contract in Steelers history, what was that contract worth? Was it in the $30 million range?
Thought it was like 40-ish. Is the
30,
number
40,
but
whatever the figure is. It's not all that high when you look at other free agent signings that have happened in league history, even this offseason, even in the previous offseason. To me, if it's anything that the Steelers can do to better position themselves as a destination in free agency, that's also a factor in all of this from my perspective as well.
And I think,
and that's not a knock on Patrick Queen or anything.
No.
That to me is
take it that
just
way.
how free agency is panned out in Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh drafting, developing, and awarding those lucrative contracts to homegrown players. I have no issue with that. But in terms of making it a more appealing destination where it's like, oh, Pittsburgh, why would I choose Pittsburgh? But then when you actually research the history of the franchise and the success that it's had, if this is something that the Steelers can look to be more appealing to a free agent player, I'm for that because I do think that would help the Pittsburgh Steelers, given their history. Again, Patrick Queen, most lucrative free agent player they've signed outside of the organization in their franchise history.
I'm going to just say, Mark, you give us NFL players way too much credit, baby. You talking about researching the history of organizations and teams, and dudes ain't doing that. Not those type of dudes. It's, you're giving me $40 million. I'm coming to your city. You're giving me. So when we talk lucrative, we talk about getting the more marquee free agents, right? Patrick Quinn was a big deal because of what we spent on him. But as you broke down, we saw Roquan Smith in his deal. We saw Tremaine Edmonds in his deal. And then we looked at Patrick Queen in his deal. And there's about $40 million difference between those dudes, right? And Patrick Queen was a big deal. Mm-hmm. So we can get whoever you want to get. The problem is, do you want to spend like that? Because when it doesn't give you exactly what you want, not live up to it, not can you just on paper be a good signing? Because on paper, Patrick Queen has been a good signing. He's productive. Mm-hmm. He's available. He doesn't miss time. He's not a locker room cancer. He doesn't do anything negative. But we, to a degree, feel like, man, we wanted more from that, right? We think we can get more than that. And that's at the $30 to $40 million range. So when we start talking about, man, we should get the marquee, they just cost more. So are you willing to spend 50 to 60? And it's a possibility that it might not give you exactly what you want, because Patrick Queen, as I told you, he's giving you a lot of production. When we started talking about what we just saw Devin Bush get, right? We just saw Devin Bush get paid. And we were breaking down the numbers. We're like, hey, man, you know, PQ, if he wanted to, he could go out there and go hit and get some more money. I just think that at times, man, we kind of forget that part. But yeah, they can get whoever they want. It isn't about the specific location. It's about the dollar. You spend that dollar at this level, guys are showing up, man. Guys are going to go. I think the conversation part, the selling part, is for that second tier group. When we talk to Rico Dowdles, Jaquan Briskers, because they're not breaking the bank, but they're the guys that are deciding between here and that guy, or maybe a $500,000 to $1 million somewhere else. And it's like, man, do I want to take that $1 million plus over there, or do I like this fit better? And what can differentiate that? A conversation with this coach. If I'm talking to you and you're telling me, man, this is how I want to use you, and I can visually see you and read you, that might be the difference between me coming here versus going over there. But those first wave dudes, man, 70. When you saw what Dan Moore got offered to go to the Tennessee Titans, do you really think Dan Moore had to pause and talk to his family about getting $80 million to go to Tennessee? Do you think he really needed to talk to whoever the coach was going to be? Yeah. Whoever the position coach? He didn't even know who the quarterback was just yet. And it's like, bro, I'm taking $80 million to go there. Now, we know they drafted Cam Ward later, but the whole thing was, bro, it's $80 million. So that's my only thing with that, man. The second tier guys, yes, but them first wave dudes, man, the money is what's going to draw them in there.
Well, so do you think, so I guess my other question is, how do they monitor this? Do they have to report out who the five are? And then my question is like, do we get to know who the five are? Because now if they report it out and we know who the five are, and TaNeisha is talking to 7 different teams that I'm on there. Right.
That messes up a lot.
That's the first thing. And then the second thing is if you say, hey, big money guys, we're not even going to put you on the list because like you're going to come. Like it's $100 million. You're coming.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting point now when we go to that second tier and then look at that list and see what that list looks like. Because you're right. There's just like first round draft picks live a different world than everybody else that's drafted.
Night and day. Yes.
This is the same situation. So now I might have more questions. So who do we get to know who the five are? Like
what you just brought up right there makes it very interesting, because traditionally the only way the public knows who we're talking with is if we tell our agent to leak it, or we leak the information. Teams didn't know who we were talking to literally until it was, hey, Drew, leak that, or hey, I'm going to leak this. And now other teams can find out. And sometimes you do that to drum up more interest or to raise your dollar amount, because, hey, you might only want to give me $2 million because you are the only person that you think I'm talking to. But when you find out they're offering me $4 million, now it goes back to the conversation, Mark. do you really love me? Don't tell me you do. Show me. If you really want me to be here, if you really think I'm that type of free agent that I matter to that degree, well, if they give me 4.5 is available. 5 is available. How high you want to go? And me personally, I've seen it. I've living proof of that. I think of my first negotiation with the Steelers and where we were. I think of that second negotiation with the Steelers and how that went. Thank you, Atlanta. And then I think of that final negotiation. It was like, oh, y'all ain't budging. Got you. All right, I'm going to Arizona then. I see what's up. But that's information that you get. So that is cool. But yes, if you start letting other teams know officially these are who they're talking to, I think it's great for the players, but I think that puts the organizations in a bind. Because it creates public competition in a major way. And the Steelers historically and even currently, that is still their messaging, their internal messaging. They don't do bidding wars. They'll to a degree, but after that, they're like, bro, I'm not about to give you XXX because they keep going up. No, we're not them. And they stand true with that. And they will go back to the default of, if you think you can have a better career elsewhere, we appreciate you at least having a conversation with us. If you were one of these unrestricted free agents, if you were an in-house free agent and you think that you can go and do better elsewhere, we wish you nothing but the best. But that's just how they operate. But I would be interested to see, man, if this does become public, what that would do.
So I just Googled it and it said that they're not required to publicly disclose, which that gets a little tricky. It gets a little tricky because if I'm on the 5, I might want to leak that I'm on the 5. And then it says that you can only speak for 1 hour. You can only have the call for limited to 1 hour. And then it says the rule allows coaches and GMs to speak with potential acquisitions directly before finalizing deals.
Yeah.
So
I like it. I just think it could get really messy. Oh, it could get really messy. But I like that, though.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what's mandated to report if that proposal would go through. With the last one of I'm fine for speeding up the game and trying not to disrupt the flow of the game. But if you're up against the clock and it's like, oh my gosh, we need to rush and make a decision, it's not conclusive, we're going with the call on the field and keeping it moving. It's like, make the right call, especially when the stakes get higher and higher and higher and higher. I know each and every week matters, but if you're rushing a decision late in the year just to abide by the time clock, this was why in baseball I was against the pitch clock initially. I think it's actually really worked out and helped speed up the game in a good way, but just don't rush the outcome of the game for the sake of rushing. Make the right decision. It's almost like, in news or in the media space, you want to be fast and accurate. I would argue being accurate is a little bit more important than being fast. Not that being fast isn't important, but make the right call is just where I come down on that. If you're able to speed up the flow of the game, like I think about it, if they could have some sort of like booth or eye in the sky to where it's not incumbent on the referee on the field to make that decision, but there's someone up in the booth helping the referee on the field make that decision, maybe that's the way to go about doing that.
I feel, oh gosh, I don't even want to talk about the refs, but
we don't need to. That's just, anyways.
I think one of the things that I guess bothers me is we're supposed to have that. They're supposed to, if it's obvious, they're supposed to be making the call. If it's this, they're supposed to be fixing it. If it's not that, they're supposed to be telling them in their earpieces that they have in all game what the correction is. So for me, this is just one of those rules where I'm like, if they're doing the things that they say they're going to be doing, there shouldn't be a need for this because it will be fixed. But that's not really how it's going. So that's why for me, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, yeah. So if it passes, cool. If it doesn't, cool. Like I just
they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess I was still viewing this specifically from the coach's standpoint, not necessarily the booth standpoint, but I think it still goes back to just, you just got 40 seconds to make a decision. Like, regardless if you like the decision, don't like the decision, if you think it's the right decision, the wrong decision. I thought it was just, you have 40 seconds to decide if you want to throw the challenge flag.
So is this a separate clock than the play clock? I guess I'm confused.
Yes, because what they're saying, in terms of the Rams,
I don't need another clock.
So it's not another clock. So think about it like this. We all know a football game, right? In terms of the quarters, right? 15 minutes, right? Or 12 or whatever. No, excuse me, 15, right? Yeah. So under that premise, the game should only be what? Right? But in terms of how long an actual game is, we know it's a lot longer. So what they're saying is just real time. When you blow that whistle and say the play is dead, we know that you don't start the clock as soon as you blow a play dead. The referee has to bring the ball back to the middle of the field, set the ball, put the hand up in the air, blow the whistle. Now play clock starts, right? Heck, man, somebody might be on the ground. Somebody might be celebrating, holding the football. Chase Claypool. Remember that scenario, right? They're saying as soon as the play is blown dead, just 40 seconds from that. It has zero to do with anything else. They're just saying, hey, play was going dead. Man, 40 seconds start the clock or not.
Does that have anything to do with the play
No,
clock?
it has zero to do with that. It has zero to do with that. It's just literally, you got 40 seconds time to decide if you want to challenge the player or not. I guess for me, I'm always the outlier as it pertains to referee and officiating. I really don't care. It's like, man, if you threw the flag, great. If you didn't throw the flag, great. I don't care about replay officials. I don't care about any of it because, once again, if they made the call and it was a good call, great. If they made a call and it was a bad call, cool, man. But one play doesn't determine my outcome. I feel like, man, if I'm playing you for 60 minutes, I got 60 minutes to whoop up on you. And if I couldn't do that, I couldn't do that. But that referee ain't saving you. And that's just how I look at it. So I know I'm the outlier as it pertains to referees. And you've heard me reference this before, and it's my go-to. I look at officials the same way I look at police officers. Y'all have a tough job because you're never going to be 100% right. So with that, hey, man, you human the same way I'm human. It is what it is. And that's just how I proceed with it, man. But it's like, at what point do we lose the flow of the game? Because I remember when we tried to bring up, should you challenge for pass interference because Nickel Roby Coleman, shout out to my homie, right? And that whole scenario, Rams and Saints. And then we had a whole season following that where we were just like, oh, they're challenging these, but they're not calling them anymore. Even though we could technically say, yeah, if we really want to be ticky-tack, everything's pass interference when you slow it down, offensively and defensively. But then it was just like, yo, it kills the flow. So let's just get back to this plan. I just look at it like that. Like, man, just play. So if you want to speed it up, cool. But as a whole, man, who cares about these refs? If you cared that much, you would either make it a fully automated system, which we've seen them do with short yardage, or you're going to just fully make it where, hey, man, anything could be reviewed because we want to get it right. And that's what you have brought up, Mark, right? We don't want to rush it. We want to get it right. So if getting it right is the thing that matters the absolute most, well, heck, man, go ahead, Carvo, 5 hours for every game, and let's make sure we get every single call right. And the first call I'm going to start with as a pass rusher is offensive lineman. Did they leave before the ball snapped? And I want you to review it automatically, not with your I told you. I want to chip in their cleats and I want to chip on that football and which one moved first. Since we're going to go all the way there with it, if we got grievances about, that's just why I stand with it. Because otherwise, where do we draw the line? We're going to focus on,
you see it every
we're going to focus on the PI stuff, right? Can I talk holding then? Let me, because that's the next thing I'm going to bring up. Because we hold every time, right? So we're going to really get to
I don't know what roughing the passer
degree,
is or unnecessary
right, but if we're going to go to there, if we're going to take it to that extent, I want to review it all. Because those are the ones that are costing my guys 30, 40 grand, right? Yeah. Those the ones, those mistakes cost. When that official makes that call and it's the wrong call, it costs. So it's like, man, if we gonna really do that, let's really do that. But we know that's not the case. It's lip service from my perspective. It's when it's convenient. Heck, I was even researching, TaNeisha, because you know you're a researcher and you inspired me. Mark, they don't have the data just yet for 2025. But in 2024, there were 41,125 plays ran in the National Football League, and there were only 327 of those plays that were actually challenged. So in the sense of what we even talking about with this stuff, I really don't care. Because it's like, man, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But yeah, and that's on their website, the official joint. You know what I mean? Not even NFL.com. You go like the operating rules official page to get them details. I was like, oh, this makes it even more to me like, yeah,
that's true. More obsolete.
But I know I should care. I know I should care. So let me not say I don't care, but just blame that on the player on me, okay? The former player in me, TaNeisha, says, I don't care about these officials, okay? Just don't.
Well, the good news is the Rams kind of agree with you because they've withdrawn their ask of this.
Let's go.
But I kind of like the rant that you were on, so I just kind of let you go because I like it when you get real passionate. So
I don't like getting on these rants.
I want to hear. No, I like it. I like the rants. I like the moat rants where it's like, okay, I've had enough of this crap. Like, let me tell you what I really think. So thank you for enlightening us with that. And it did bring us a good stat, because what you're saying is actually true. It's almost like when you think somebody played bad, and it's because you can remember the touchdown they gave up or the one play, so it makes you think the entire game was bad. Sounds to be true when it comes to plays that were challenged and different things like that. It's like we remember all the challenges our team had, or the challenges that we've seen other teams have, because they were, maybe impactful plays. That doesn't necessarily mean it's happening as much as we think it is.
I've got a bone to pick, and I have
TaNeisha, when did you find out though that at which stage of the rant?
I will never tell you.
Mark, she had me over here. I'm just going. I'm like, man, I really am.
I love it.
Because I Googled and then I went to another site just to confirm.
Yeah.
So, however long you think it takes my research in that regard. So on playback, you're going to be like, she found that out 30 seconds into this 3-minute rant.
I've got two things. I've got a bone to pick, and I've got a half baked. Which would you
love
like
a bone
first?
to pick. Bone to pick.
Okay.
All right. So I was on my social feeds prepping for today's show. This Fanatics flag football game, which has served as a de facto flag football tryout for the 2028 Olympics. We've got star players in the NFL: Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, OBJ, trying harder than we've seen in the Pro Bowl games. I don't get this. I don't understand this. I also want to let them know, like, hey, guys, like, this doesn't count for anything. This is for a Fanatics sponsorship. Like, I don't understand how that game was more competitive and had more athletic excellence than, like, the last 5 to 10 Pro Bowls we've seen. So that's my first bone to pick. And seriously, it's more competitive than anything I've seen since Sean Taylor laid the wood on your Bills punter teammate, Arthur,
Brian Moorman,
all the way back in the day.
Sir.
So that's number one. And then I've
let's
got my
start
half
there.
baked,
Want to start there? Let's start there. TaNeisha, get it off first.
About that. I feel like, my take on this could be totally wrong. What I think you saw, though, is when NFL players feel like they need to let you know who they are, and they need to show you who they are, and they have the opportunity, and it's fun for them. And I just think that they were like, let's just go out and make this fun. Let's show up, let's compete, and let's do this. And I think they're at heart, we talked about this before. We all still love to have fun. Like, we all still love to do things that are fun, and it was for fun. And so I enjoyed seeing that side of them when they weren't wearing helmets and pads and all of that, because it was more fun. I felt the energy was different. It felt light, and it just felt like just guys out there playing football. And I don't think we get that in the Pro Bowl. In the Pro Bowl, it's like, I don't know. It just felt different, but that felt fun to me. So I just feel like they were like, all right, even Tom Brady, like, anyways, I just think it was just like fun. And that's what I was looking at it as. So that's what I was thinking.
So I'm actually glad that you brought this up, Mark, because it for sure was on my list. I was like, I should send this for tonight's topics, but y'all ain't watched this, because who cares, right? Y'all ain't watched this. And I promise I'm over here like, TG, we're going to be talking about this, okay? So even if this panel doesn't, we're talking about this. I don't care. So, Mark, thank you, because I get to talk about this twice now. Let's go. All right. So, first off, it's a lot that went into this in terms of why it was as competitive as we saw. First thing is the timing of it, man. It's only in March. Pro Bowl is typically right after the season ends. Some of these dudes just got knocked out of the playoffs, and you're sore. And you're like, man, I've been banging. I've been hitting since August. I've been practicing since April. Like, man, I just want to break. My mind is fried, and I feel a sense of depression because it's like, yo, you just failed. If you didn't win the Super Bowl, you're going to naturally, as much as fans think they're the only ones that care because, hey, we spent our hard-earned money. We appreciate that. But the players, we actually are the ones having to invest and make a lot of those physical and mental and emotional sacrifices, man, taking away time. So when you get to that extra Pro Bowl, you're just kind of like, dude, come on, man. And then you're dangling hey, if you win, you'll get 100,000. I think it was bumped up to that. And first was like, if you win, you get 80 grand. If you lose, you get 40 grand. It's like, that's some dude's game checks. Shoot, that's a pay cut for some of those guys' game checks. I've seen them. All right. So when you throw in the fact that this is much removed, that was the first part. The second thing was this. Initially, it was supposed to be in Saudi Arabia, right? It was supposed to be a bigger thing, but we know globally there are some issues happening that made it where that was not an option, a safe option at least. So that's why they brought it back to the U.S. The next thing, why it was also competitive, when they first announced that flag football was going to be an Olympic sport in 2028 Olympics, the big debate became, all the NFL guys are just going to take these spots. Well, there are flag football guys that do it for a living. I got one of my best friends. He's a full-time flag football guy. In fact, he's like, yo, that wasn't even the A team that we sent out there for that. I'm talking to him. He's like, yo, that's not even our A team. Their mindset is, I don't care about this NFL stuff y'all do, because as you can see, even in those games, yo, that NFL stuff is physical. Oh, you can run through guys. Oh, you got to bring it. Not in flag. No. And in flag, in fact, hey, bro, you don't even lunge at me, Saquon Barkley. What are you doing? So that was the part for those guys where they were like, yo, we are coming out here to prove a point. And the flip side from the NFL guys is they're natural competitors. So anytime you feel like a dude's trying to show you up, or you feel like a dude thinks he can be on the same field as you, that's when the woo come out. And that's also what you were seeing. And you would see glimpses of it from the quarterbacks with the FU balls. I seen Joe Burrow throw a stupid dime to Devontae Adams in the back of his, and you're like, oh, he's pissed. I seen Brady drop one. Brady hit the. I'm like, Brady, you ain't moved like that in 10 years, fool. But you could just see where that competitor starting to show up. Yeah. But I do have to show respect to those flag guys. They also they do that full time, and it is a difference in sports. 7-on-7 flag football is very different than traditional flag rules, which you saw them playing. And the NFL players, they got to adjust to that. But that's the big reason why it was so competitive, because they're trying to prove the Team USA guys that they should be the representatives for Team USA in the 2028 Olympics. Whereas the NFL guys, it's almost a foregone conclusion that they're going to get these spots. And granted, it still wasn't a full flag team versus all NFL guys, because you have Logan Paul, you have IShow Speed, you had Luke Kuechly out there,
a bunch
Pat
of YouTubers,
Peterson, right? Yeah. So it was a combination. And I'm watching Logan Paul, and I'm like, Logan Paul, for the way that they the way that they market you as some athletic freak in WWE, and I've seen you in WWE, bruh.
Seriously. He didn't look athletic at all.
TaNeisha, if that is peak athleticism in the WWE, oh my God.
Yeah.
Just, it looked bad. It looked bad. I would reference what it looked like, but it's a lady on the show and I want to be nice, okay? So, yes, but he was just really stiff, okay? He's just real stiff. We'll just leave it at that. But I think it's going to be interesting, man. I liked it, though. As a whole, I liked it. I like to see the dudes in a loose setting. I like to see the guys in a competitive setting. And it was cool to see some of the OGs mixed in. We said Tom Brady. You heard me say Luke Kuechly. Like, bro, I love watching Luke when he was in Carolina. Now, granted, this flag situation is a little bit different, but I thought that was a vibe. So I'm digging that. I will be interested to see what we do going forward, though, because when I'm watching Joe Burrow dive, when I'm watching Jaden Daniels run and dive, I'm watching Joe Burrow fall, I'm watching Devontae Adams trip, bro, for 100. They said that Team USA, because they won, they all each got $100,000. If you are Devontae Adams, if you're Joe Burrow, if you're Jaden Daniels, if you're Saquon Barkley, if you're any of these guys, Jalen Ramsey was out there also, right? That's one of ours. That $100,000 ain't worth it, man. I'm just telling you right here. Okay.
When we see the Olympics roll around, because the NFL athleticism's on another tier, it's on another level. I don't care how athletic you are. When the Olympics gold medal is on the line, I don't want to see anyone get hurt, but that's the fair, especially considering the injury history of a guy like Joe Burrow or this
Joe
past
was
year
running.
with Daniels.
He was running around like he was dead serious. I'm like, Joe, you don't run this much in a Bengals game. Like he literally was.
I know it's not collision. I know it's flag, but
Mark, he was trying. You're coming off of an ACL, just 2 years removed, and you over here.
He didn't care.
I'm like, bro, that ain't what you do, Jaden Daniels. I'm like, bro, no, definitely not you. Like, both of y'all, go sit down. Why are y'all doing this? That's all I'm thinking. Why are y'all doing this?
I don't think they're agents. I think it's the teams. If I was a team, if that was,
no way.
Yeah.
There is no way. If you're, how much is Joe Burrow's contract, and you're doing this for 100,000? What? I'm watching these flag dudes bump into Saquon. I'm like, bro, I don't even know you guys. No disrespect, but if Saquon rolls his ankle because he landed on you
or a knee,
yeah. Wait, Mark, did you like watching it though? You just wish the Pro Bowl was just as competitive, or did you not like watching it? You don't know.
I think it's more the injury risk where it's like, what are we doing? It's like, what are we doing?
Fair. I'm with you 100%, Mark. I enjoyed it optically, and then when I saw Joe Burrow hit the ground the first time, it got real. When he hit the ground the second time, I'm like, this is stupid.
To what it was for initially. It's like I've seen all these clips on my feed.
Yeah.
I'm like,
so
I'm like, wait a second. I thought this wasn't starting till 2028, and it's like, well, it's not. It's not.
Yeah, but this was the first initial, not real welcome / like initial foundation tryout, but it was like, yo, let's just see. Because once again, when they first made this announcement, I can tell you for a fact the way that it came off to flag players. NFL is here.
Yeah.
Y'all are here. And those dudes show that no, bro, flag is different. Even the body types are different. You watch how they're built. They look like a bunch of Devonta Smith. Devonta Smith looked big. Think about that. Devonta Smith looked big out there. Mm-hmm. That's the difference of flag body types. I'm watching our big receivers. I'm like, bro, you need to have the Calvin Austins and the Marquise Goodwin types. These little itty bitty, like the Tyreek Hills. Obviously, we know he's in recovery mode, but it's like you need more of these like tiny dudes, man, because you watch, man, I don't think they had to do it. They weighed over $180 over there. But it's like you watch,
and they were so agile,
stepping in it because they light and they're built it was super light, undersized slot receivers.
It was cool watching them. At some point, one of my friends texted me and they were like, maybe we should have sent our basketball players. Like, they might be a little bit more agile.
No, because once again, they're too tall. These dudes,
they were just joking.
I was like, these
they were just looking at body
little.
types. Yeah, they were just looking at body types, just laughing. But so I feel you though, Mark. I understand.
I watched them try to.
What is your half?
I watched Devontae Adams catch that ball in the middle of the field and go to take off, and I'm like, neither one of these guys wanted to ever stand in front to tackle him. But you grab his flag a lot easier.
Yeah, 100%.
And as I'm watching him grab his flag, I'm like, that kind of defeats the purpose of me having Devontae out there. I like the fact that you can't tackle him. He ain't about to switch his hips and duck to like 2 feet off the ground. And then I seen the one dude, man, Logan Paul almost tore his ACL messing with the dude. Drop that thing and say, hey, bro, that ain't what you want to do, man. You don't do that.
They look like Transformers, kind of.
Yeah, I'm like, that is unorthodox voodoo style running. I'm like, hey, bro.
But remember, he scored 19 touchdowns in high school. Don't forget that. So
I don't know who he was playing against, Mark.
Oh, man, Tom Brady went off. Tom Brady went off.
Bunch of little Timmys.
Yeah.
My half-baked is this. Sure you guys saw this on Instagram. Chase Claypool posting Steelers highlights, a potential return from Canadian Mapletron back in the 4-1-2. We need a slot receiver. We need a receiver 3. Low risk, potentially high reward. I don't know. I've heard crazier things. I don't think that this will happen in actuality, but I did enjoy the 30 seconds to where I'm like, I've seen crazier things happen. And I'll give this to Chase Claypool. There's not many guys that can score 4 touchdowns in an NFL game. Like, you have to have some level of talent to do that. Granted, that was all the way back when he was a rookie years and years ago, but that's my half-baked is I saw he posted, what did the caption read? I've got it here in my notes. Where have you been by Rihanna to Steelers highlights? Chase Claypool, Instagram. Love it.
Oh, Chase Claypool. Yeah. I remember when we drafted him, I was so excited. And then after his first year, I was even more excited. And then I was like,
well, he tied a Steelers rookie record with 11 touchdowns. Like, think of all of the great Steelers players that there have been. And he scores 11 touchdowns as a rookie. And then he went on that podcast with Brandon Marshall declaring himself as a top 3 NFL receiver. And it's really never been the same since. As soon as the Steelers send him to the Bears, I swear something happened. And he just, anyways. Arthur, I'm pretty plugged in on my social media, man. My burners.
Mark killing me with these social medias, man. He called up my man Mason for his comments. I'm like, God, dog, man. Mark, you don't miss anything, okay? God, dog, you don't miss anything. I did also see the post, and I did also get a sense of that nostalgia as he was playing the Rihanna and having the highlights, and it was cool to see, man. It definitely was. I don't hate it. It's just because for me, you know how he was just literally signed with the Bills. It was like a year ago, but I think it was like 2 weeks in training camp. He got hurt again. So as much as
how old he is.
Well, so I would say like this, right? As much as I want to have this hard stance on Chase Claypool
27.
because of right. So what I'm saying is this, right? As much as I want to have a hard stance on Chase because of what the expectations were when we drafted him, the first year, how he lit it up. People were comparing him to Justin Jefferson at times as well because of how many touchdowns he had, even though Justin had the louder season with the yards. I look at all of that. And then obviously we know, man, you were part of the great fleece that we were able to pull with the Chicago Bears. So we appreciate him for being a positive contributor to that. But yeah, I don't really have like a strong stance on him, man. If you want to come here for a super minimum deal, go for it. But I would also kind of look at, the maturity part and say what maybe was okay in the past. New regime, man. We don't have time for any of that no more. You need to have a certain level of maturity now that you're coming. If you were to come back, and the reason I'm specifying it with him is because that was part of the issue.
Yep.
It was a maturity thing. So I can't give you the same benefit of the doubt that I would give a rookie, that I would give a free agent that we have never done business with. The fact that we have a history, I'm not going to have as much patience with you. I'm not going to have as much grace for you. And that's why for me, you would need to really be on that super buttoned up, but I think he could. And I think he would also even be humble enough to give you some special teams production. We talk about how you would have a role here. Man, if you haven't played this game now in 2 going on 3 years, you're not just coming in here off the street being the third best wide receiver on this team. That's disrespectful to any dude that's been actively playing. And I would start with Roman Wilson first. But if you want to find a way to work yourself back into this thing, you want to find a way to get in that conversation and buy yourself time, man, that special team thing, man, you big, you fast, you strong. You weren't a first round draft pick like Darius Hayward-Bay, so if he could go down here and run and cover these punts and kicks, why the heck can't you?
Steelers.
If you really want to do it, if you really want to get a job, if you really want to be here, if you really want to prove that you can get your, credit back up. Heck, I watched Artie Burns go from being first rounder here to covering kicks in Seattle. It was like, hey, bro, figure it out, man. Devin Bush was another one. Before he started getting paid in Cleveland, it's like, bro, he had to learn that a little bit as well. It's like, if you want to, because of where you came in at and where you have fallen to, you don't get to just come back here because, hey, we're the ones that drafted you and you had a great first year here. That's not how it works. So if you're willing to do that and you're willing to bring value and create value for yourself, I'm all for it because like you also said, Mark, to do what he has done, you have to have a certain level of talent. And that's
Steelers,
undeniable.
Bears, Dolphins,
but
Bills.
I want to see that you actually have that level of commitment.
Do we lose Mark?
I was saying the Steelers, the Bears, the Dolphins, and the Bills he's played for. And where I'm at with Claypool is this. You mentioned the maturity part, Arthur. This is not revisionist history, but hindsight being 2020. If you remember that Vikings game where he was celebrating and wasting time and valuable seconds on the clock the Steelers needed to come back against Minnesota, it wasn't just that he did that. Young player on his rookie contract. But it was when he was asked about it after the game by reporters, and he doubled down, acting like he did nothing wrong. That's
even
where it's
watching it happen. Dang, the celebration, the situational awareness. Where's the accountability even in that moment when the players, hey, man, give me that ball. Let me get back here. And literally you watch him throw the tantrum there before we even talk about him interview it. It's
and
like,
his
yo, you throw
teammates are clamoring
right
for the ball,
yes.
understanding the game situation. But when he doubled down after the game, that's where I'm like, he didn't get it. He does not get it.
Yeah.
So that's when you're talking the maturity part. That's what we're talking about. And you're talking about winning and losing games. When you talk about winning and losing games, you're talking about people's jobs.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about.
I am team go get whoever you think is going to be a fit for the team. So if it's Claypool, you go get him and you make it work. And if it's not, you don't. I am always team first. So whatever that looks like, whatever they think it looks like, I trust them enough to kind of make that decision and go from there. So, I mean, I would be shocked, but I mean, stranger things have happened in life. Stranger things have happened. So, yeah, I mean, if that's what they think is going to make this team better, then I say absolutely, you go get him immediately. But that's just how I feel. I will take anyone that they think is going to make the team better.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Even if
Trust
it's
me, I'm with
Arthur
you, man.
Moats.
And look, and if they think that
Coming out
it's
of
me,
retirement.
then I can assure you they are going in the all the way wrong direction. Okay, I will champion for Chase Claypool 1,000 times before I ever say it.
You don't want to go back on kickoff?
Sign Moats. The only
Arthur,
kickoff I want to do is when I'm playing Madden. Okay, and yeah, that's about it.
That's fair.
That's
Arthur,
about
we
it.
can go to story time with Arthur Moats. When did you realize it was time that you needed to retire? When did you realize like it's my time to go?
I was tired of missing stuff, man. That's what it became for me. When I say tired of missing stuff, with the family, with my wife, my kids, man, it was pulling on me. So year 7, I was already checked out. Like I remember vividly, man, me and my wife, Will Allen, shout out to him, man, and his wife, because I was one of my mentors, and I'm literally getting ready for year 7. I'm telling him at this dinner, and we're like, bro, I'm done, bro. I'm like, man, I didn't play longer than I was ever supposed to play. I've checked off everything except a Super Bowl. And I get it, man. Like, I know you're never supposed to stop playing because you didn't win Super Bowl, but to me, it just wasn't like that big. Like, it wasn't this thing that I'm just going to hold over my head like fans and media trying to make it for me. I'm like, no, bro, when you have done that, you don't got it. Like, that doesn't make me a champion. Like, I know what I am. But he was the one like, nah, bro, you know what your deal is? You know what your like contract is? You know how much money they're paying you and going to be paying for the next 2 years? He's like, yo, where are you going to find that? And you still care to a degree. So I remember picking myself back up and like, all right, we're going to finish the deal out here in Pittsburgh. Now you fast forward 2 years later, and now I just finished up my 8th season and I'm leaving Pittsburgh, right? Because that was when I tell you that third negotiation, they're like, hey, man, we want you, but we think you should go out and see if you can find a better deal. Those are the nice way of saying, hey, man, we appreciate everything you did here, but yeah, bro, go on. All right, we got this young dude named TJ Watt. We got this young cat named Bud Dupree. Hey, man, you've served your purpose here, all right? And it was all love. So once again, I was checked out. I was retired then until I'm literally the night before I'm about to deliver a speech in Baltimore for a athletic conference, and it's the Arizona Cardinals and my agent, Drew Rosenhaus. He's like, yo, bro, they want to fly you out tomorrow, and I don't want to go. I'm still checked out once again, Mark. And I hit him with this one. Tell him, wait. Tell him I'm not showing up. Tell him I'm not flying out. Because I've already told these people in Baltimore that I'm going to deliver this keynote, and I'm already here, and they taking care of this. I ain't doing it. Think about what I'm telling you, Mark. I'm trying to do my best to let them know I don't want to go, right? Yeah. Because you're just like, yo, I'm done. I've been done. And they said, we'll wait. They said, we'll wait. They waited 2 days, Mark. They waited 2 days and flew me out at 10 o'clock at night. You bastards, bro. All right. So then I get out there, Mark. Now, granted, this is how retired I am. At that stage in my career, I wasn't even really working out in terms of like game shape. I usually walk around playing wise back then, 240, 242 max. I was 253 when I walked out there in Arizona, got on that scale. Just let you know. I do my workout. And once again, Mark, in my mind, I've never had to do an actual workout to get signed. So I'm going to just give you a couple of here and there's. And after that, hey, this all I do. And once again, Mark, they still was like, yeah, we want to offer you the contract and we're going to wait for you to decide. And I'm in that locker room and AZ pissed. And even then, it's just like, okay, wifey on one, Drew on the other, and they're both saying, bro, you are staying, you're taking that, and you're going to play. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And God's honest truth, Mark, when I say things happen for a reason, I can't make this up. I got hurt. Third preseason game in Dallas, which was my childhood favorite team. And it was significant enough that I did not have to come back out there. Mark, I was so freaking happy because literally from year 7, okay, year 7, I was out. All right. So that was what it was for me, man. It was too many of my wife, agent, and just that little bit of desire inside. But as a whole, man, I was good after year 7. I was for sure good after year 7. All right. So the injury gave me a like legitimate, now it's acceptable to, but yeah, man, I don't want to say it was burnt out, but it was kind of that because I know for me, I started at 4 years old, man. I love this game, obsess over it. But yeah, man, it was like, yo, I'm tired of missing stuff, man. I'll never forget flying back Kansas City Chiefs after we beat them in that playoff game, man. And I'm literally coming back and catching the last 10 minutes of my daughter's basketball game. And I'm walking in that gym full suit on, man. And I'm crushed because I'm like, yo, it's a big deal. Like for me as a dad, it's like, yo, I want to be there. So having no moments, man, it was like, yo, bro, I don't like that feeling, man. I don't like what this is. And I get the job. It matters. And they pay you to make them a priority over everything. And when I say everything, it is literally everything. But I was just tired of it, man. So yeah, that's what it was, man. But shout out to the Cardinals, though. All right. And shout out to everybody that did show me love throughout my career. All right. I do appreciate all them checks. I do appreciate all my teammates and all the vibes. But yeah, man, I was ready to go. I was for sure. I was fortunate in that regard because not everybody gets at least to have that feeling. Is usually the other side of it. And that's why I'm kind of like trying to be sensitive about how I like word that to not like come off like that. But yeah, like that was kind of what it was for me, man.
I have 2 follow-ups, but TaNeisha, go ahead.
I was going to say, we started the show on you being a family man and you being a dedicated father and, husband and all of those great things. It's amazing that we're ending the show on you saying that you chose your family over your NFL career. Yeah. Like, I know that a lot, like, that's a huge deal. And everybody knows this by now. I just give you crap because it's so easy and there's so much stuff about you online that I can find that I can always just talk about. And so it's so fun. But it's actually remarkable that everything that you say and do is like real. Because I think so many times we just assume like people are like, oh, I miss going to the game. And we're like, okay, then quit the job and go to the game. Like you have the choice. It's just a lot of people don't make that choice. So I think that that's great that we started the show that way and we're like ending it on you talking about how great of a family man you are. Man, that's just amazing.
Anywho, and look, we're all just trying to be 1% better each day. Okay, I'm just trying to be a little bit better each day. That's all I'm trying to do because I know I'm not a perfect father. Okay, I don't just wake up and be like, yo, I got all this stuff figured out. Okay, so someone's try to do all the little things right. Okay, try to do all the little things right.
Well,
that's amazing.
Choosing
with the injury, the fact that an MCL sprain is that right, Arthur?
Yeah.
That you're like almost cheering that. I mean,
you're like done. I basically rolled my knee and I'm over
mic
it.
Drop and just like I'm out.
He had a knee roll and he was like, "No, thank you. I'm done with this crap."
TaNeisha, are you ready? They said, hey, look, Arthur. We got 2 things we could do. We got 1 week left preseason, but this is probably going to take about 4 weeks for you to be all the way back. All right. We can allow you to rehab, and in that way, we keep you active, and then you come back and play, or because it's preseason, we put you on injured reserve, and you're done for the year.
Injured reserve, please.
I said, do I got to think about this? Like, how y'all want me to tell y'all this, man? I can send it in the email.
Were you calculating the payout?
Like, were you like, okay,
the money is not the same. How much? Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? The money isn't the same. I was all the way to here with this though. I didn't even want the money. I was ready to be like, yo, just cut me. Just let me go home. I was like, I'll figure it out. And once again, agent, wife, granted, shout out to them because sometimes you need sound voices to not allow you to make emotional and irrational decisions.
True.
Yes.
I was ready to leave it all on the table and come back with my little sprained leg and be like, I'll figure it out. I'm homesick. I miss family. I miss wife. I miss kids. I miss my bed. I miss my car. I miss my toothbrush. I wish the toothbrush that I use at the house and not that on the road toothbrush. I miss all that type of stuff, right? Because remember, I was in Baltimore before I flew out to Arizona. So I hadn't actually came back. I was initially packed for like a 3-day trip, and that turned into, hey, bro, you ain't coming back until like November.
Wow.
Yeah.
So once you were in Arizona, you were in Arizona.
So like I went, literally, I landed that night. And I had to hand wash my clothes because I only had what I drove down, and I had the suit that I was going to be presenting in.
Hang on, you drove from Baltimore to Arizona?
No, so I left my car in Baltimore. My family had to fly down. My family flew down later on to go get my car and then drive it back to Pittsburgh because I was in Arizona. Yeah, it was a whole ordeal. Absolutely. Yeah.
I have another question too. Was there anything professionally after year 7 that you had accomplished where you're like, all right, like this is it. This is as high, again, short of winning a Super Bowl, just as far as you can go and is at the highest level. Was there something after that year 7 you were like, there's not much more other than short of winning a Super Bowl that you'd accomplished to that point in your career?
Hold on, make sure I'm hearing you right. Are you saying that I still wanted to get outside of a Super Bowl specifically, or are you saying that I already felt like I already accomplished?
You were done, that you had already accomplished after year 7. After 7 years.
So what I was specifically speaking on was 2 things. The first thing was league average 2.5 years. I was a 6th rounder that went to James Madison University by way of Churchland High School. You don't play 6 years, 7 years. You don't play longer than league averages at that stage, right? So that was the first thing, because my hometown, the guys that were my peers were Percy Harvin and Cam Chancellor. Those the guys that I played in high school against. Those the guys that when we were doing our, hey, these are the top players coming out of the city, they were the guys at 1, 2, 3. I was the number 25th, the last guy on that list. And I told myself, you're going to play long or as long or longer than those dudes. You might not make as much, you might not have the careers, but you're going to do that. And just check the documents, check the tape. Okay. But the other part was this. I got that deal. You know that deal? You know that deal where they're like, yo, everybody has a number, right? We always talk about everybody has a number, right? Everybody has a number. Yeah. Your number might be really, really robust. Mark, where I grew up at, okay, my number wasn't as high, okay? So the number that they gave me the first go around was already like, Jesus. Then Atlanta made them make that number really, really crazy. So yeah, when that whole just 2015, that contract scenario, yeah, that was the okay, guys. We've made the big heist. That's Mark, awesome. In the movie, this is where that guy can go left and hit paradise and never come back. He can go right and go make another one. And I'm like, decisions. And then it just so happens Shazier happens, and I'm like, oh, heck no. And I was like, I'm all the way. I'm checked out. I'm cool. I'm holla at y'all. So, yeah. But that was it, baby. That was it. Mm-hmm.
You didn't get suckered into one last job. That's always the trope in heist movies.
You see it.
Like,
you see it,
stick
man.
around one more job. What could go wrong?
Hey, look, technically, that was Arizona. Technically,
he did
you
it.
See what I mean? Technically, it was Arizona.
He rolled his knee. He rolled his knee.
I became Val Kilmer in Heat. That's what I was. Okay, I should have left, but you know what? That was me. And right at the end, that me walking out on my knee brace was him pulling up at the end of the street, and she just giving him a look. Oh, I bet. I see what it is. Over. I'm out. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Cool.
Were you at least limping? Were you at least limping out?
Look, TaNeisha, limp. I can't get the card. I need all the pictures. I need all my because once again, TaNeisha, as a kid, my whole dream, I started playing football because my neighbor played for the team with the star, and when I watched the 1996 Steelers Cowboys Super Bowl, that was what. So the irony of me going down in Dallas, I actually have those. I'm contemplating putting them up, but I feel like I would be so obnoxious because I'm literally TaNeisha. I have the program. I literally have the program. Okay, the program. from a preseason game. Why
TaNeisha,
versus the
to steal
Cowboys.
a line from Heat, the action is the juice.
I love it. Okay. You listen, if you're gonna be in, right, you might as well be all in. Like you might as well.
There is a beautiful picture of me. I'm literally like getting helped by my training staff. Shout out to them dudes. They were awesome because I was a full diva out there just for the sake of being a diva. All right. It was no reason whatsoever. It was just like, I know I'm checked out.
This is my last moment. I need it to be a good one. Yeah. I love that. You know, I kind of like this part of the story even better. Like I kind of am feeling this side. I kind of like it. I can't.
Y'all got me in here telling y'all the truth over here, man. I got to see. Usually people don't get this out, all right? But it's like, yo, I was like, hey, man, I know it's a camera. Where's that? Oh, there it is. You get the good side. All right. I want the star in the back. Favorite color is red, so this is beautiful. All right, and it's just like I looked good. Like if that had to be my last moment ever on a field,
it's so funny.
It was like when I tell you TaNeisha, like I look back at that ending and I smile because I was just like, yo, I couldn't have wrote it any better. Unless it was, of course, winning the Super Bowl and being like the game winning Von Miller. But I'm like, outside of that is like to end it where the dream started. Like, yo,
you have the program.
Like I literally have the program, like the legit program, like the one they put on our stool when you show up and you're like, oh, let me see what page I'm on. Do they got my picture? Do I got to write up? Am I featured this week? Like these are some of the things that us as players think of because when you are featured, you get 36 boxes of them and you see them in your basement just in case family comes over. They're like, yo, you got me? Like, yo, I got you. I got Bills and Steelers ones. I'm just letting y'all know. Okay, it's real. It's facts. Okay. But this is what you do when you're a player, okay?
That's awesome.
You got to keep souvenirs just in case. It's just in case. Like it's not like it's gonna go away, but just in case.
Don't know that they can Google you.
You just never know, right?
You're Googleable. Yeah.
TaNeisha,
Google me.
You keep all the stuff that is like team issue, just so that way, if it ever came a time, it's like, yo, you don't believe me? I know it sounds crazy. I actually did it. I promise I did it. It was crazy.
They can Google you.
I don't believe it at times. I promise.
Yeah, there's something about having hard media. I mean, you mentioned Heat, 90s movie.
Come on, man.
Having the physical hard copy of something. I mean, in case the apocalypse happens, we're still set.
Come on, man.
It still happened with proof.
It's
the
tangible.
Yeah.
It's tangible, man. Like, yeah. I go down into my basement and I'm just like, I don't even like all the way unpack this. I just look at it like, oh, man. I'm on page 83.
When you said that you
right
have
there.
the program,
he knows the page number.
Did
Mark,
you just say the page
listen, TaNeisha.
Okay,
you know how you said,
the real question is, when is the last time you opened the
TaNeisha,
program?
are you ready for this, TaNeisha? I was down there like a month ago, so that is a cheat. That doesn't. But it was because I was looking for something for somebody. Okay, somebody was asking for something specifically, and it was like, oh, that's in this box. Okay. But yeah, you know how you research and you said you highlight. You said you highlight stuff, right? You said you highlight stuff. I'm a bunny ear guy, okay? So I bunny ear my pages. So that's how I know I'm on page 83. So when I open up a book, it's like, hey, bunny ear on that page. Oh, in the little small pamphlet, I might be a little bit further back because, you know, they did it off the last name the most. So, you know, but it's like, yo, I bunny ear that page because I didn't want to put
So you looked at it
because you
highlighted.
Yes, easily a month ago. And I'll probably be back down there in like 2 weeks because I got to go look for something else. And it's, you know, it's going to happen. Because you want to.
Do you ever go just to make sure it's still there?
Well, sometimes yes, but as a whole, my problem is this: as efficient and as organized as I am, you know, when we moved a year ago, I thought I organized all the boxes, Mark, and I thought I labeled, hey, Arthur's special stuff, Arthur's football stuff, Arthur's basement stuff. I look in basement box that got room box stuff in it. Room box stuff has sports stuff. It's a hodgepodge. And me and my wife, she's like, yo, we're going to sit down and we're going to go through this stuff. And I'm always like, yeah. But then every time she be about to bring it up, I'm like, don't you want to go to eat? Don't you want to go somewhere? Do we really want to go here? So I just keep kicking the can. And that's why it's like a hodgepodge right now. But eventually I'm going to go down there and organize it. Okay. But yeah, I know what those are.
No, it's cool to have a lot of that stuff. I mean, we have like a whole binder of like old newspaper clippings from.
You see it. Need all that
from my senior year of high school, but no one needs to hear about all that. But yeah, I mean, it's
I love it.
Yeah, it's
well,
like
shout
honestly,
out to
other than my parents, I don't think anyone cares about that at all. But it's good memories, you know.
I care. How about that? I care.
All right.
How about that?
All right. right. Can you send me a copy? I care about that.
Yeah, I care.
I love that. Well, shout out to both of you for keeping all the things that matter to you. That's amazing.
Mark, I blame you for any of this stuff that's happened the past 35 minutes of this show, okay? This is all you. This is your fault.
I always say that the
yeah,
second
man.
hour is the best hour.
Yeah,
because
I'm like, how did we get here?
Yeah, the second hour, it's like, and especially the people who listen, you can always kind of tell who makes it towards the end, because in the comment section, it kind of shows itself. But the second hour is always the hour where it's like, what do you want to know? Keep watching for the next hour. See what comes up.
I become more unhinged in the second hour. That's definitely a certainty.
Hey, look, the more unhinged. Go ahead.
I think I'm the same. I'm always unhinged, unserious. You know, just take me or leave me. This is just what you see is what you get. Like,
hey, look, and I'm just a man of the people. So when y'all ask questions, I feel like I have to oblige. I have to respond. Yeah. Okay, and yeah,
so
sometimes
you have the best.
Passion
story.
accidentally comes out. It accidentally comes out. So
it's the best.
Arthur, you do have some untapped stories there that we'll continue to get into. And
yes.
Just again, the 9-year veteran perspective is just not something that most people have the opportunity to do. And it's like there are certain questions where it's like, oh, was your welcome to NFL moment is the one I always see on my social feeds. But there's just stories and perspective that you have in terms that your average Joe's just not. I don't care how astute their football analysis is. Because you've lived it.
He's not an average Joe because he was in the NFL for 9 seasons.
Anywho, I appreciate both of your super kind words in the way that you guys try to just, pump me up. Okay, I appreciate that. But we're not going there. Okay, we're just regular people. Okay, which is a part of the panel
because
together.
we're going to end this here soon. If you make it to the end of this video,
now
I'm taking over. If you think of one agent in any sport, anywhere, on the face of the planet, and who is the first agent that just pops up in your mind? Even if you're just learning sports, football, basketball, soccer, ball, whatever you're just learning. Just let me know in the comment section below who is the first agent that pops up when you just think about agents. Like just name the guy that pops up for you whenever you think of agents, because there's only one if we're being honest with ourselves. But we can placate it and make it seem like it's not a big deal. It's a huge deal. So 9-year NFL vet, father, husband, all the things. That would be you.
Anywho,
along for the ride.
I'll leave my final thoughts.
Y'all picked me up somewhere on the side of the road, and I was like, "Let me in."
I'm with TaNeisha in the comments. Write who comes to mind. In all seriousness, I want people watching to this point to do that. Do it for the culture.
We all know I'll tag it.
That right. There it is.
Did I do that right?
Culture. For the culture, all right. That's all we ask.
Did I get that right?
Yes, Mark. You did. Just lean into it, Mark. Don't ask questions. Just say it and just get up out of there. You good, man? Okay, good. For the culture.
My final thought. We're almost a month out from the draft. We're gonna get some more answers. Arthur, you got me really excited because you mentioned the movie Heat. Heat 2's coming out, and the cast. You've got Michael Mann directing, and then you've got a guy by the name of Leonardo DiCaprio. You have Christian Bale,
I've heard of him before,
and Adam Driver. I think any of those three could lead.
Shout
You've got
out.
3 in one cast. I don't know when the movie's going to come out. The action is the juice. If we taught you anything today, take that away from today's episode. If you haven't watched Heat, do yourself a favor. Great heist movie.
Please.
But draft's getting closer and closer. I'm very excited to chop it up with both of you. So we get into more of the Steelers' specific needs and players we like, we don't like. I'm sure we'll get into here on future weeks as we get closer to the draft. And then Pittsburgh schools being out of school as well for this event with hundreds of thousands of people in the city. It's going to be a spectacular event, and we'll see how long the Steelers keep holding their cards close to the vest with 12 picks here in this next month. So that's where I land.
Yeah.
Final words Doctor.
Yeah. Well, there's so many different ways I can go with this. So I'm just going to go by way of, I believe we need to have a wrestler come out and announce that we have traded up, and we need a wrestler to come out behind the scenes with all the fire things and I'll just make it all electric. And he needs to come out and say who we moved up to get. And it needs to be this whole moment in Pittsburgh, in our city. And that's just what I'm standing on. And shout out to you for being a good husband, good father in the NFL for 9 years. That is actually, that is an amazing feat for a human being. So like, I know I'm kind of joking, but I'm also being serious. Like, shout out to you for being phenomenal and continuing to raise the bar at 1%ers.
You're
so
funny.
Congratulations to you. So thank you. And thank you guys for picking me up on the curb, okay, to join in all of this fun. So I appreciate it. Okay, I'll be quiet.
Anywho, so with that being the case, I guess my final words would be Pat McAfee. All right, McAfee, you're a wrestler. You got Pittsburgh connections. You're the guy that we all love, and you get the people going. So you heard what the doctor said. She wants you to announce the pick. All right, me and Mark, we'll work on the pyrotechnics, you know what I'm saying, get the fire going on when he comes out and everything like that. But other than that, all right, that's the vibe. So hopefully y'all enjoyed tonight's show. And if you did, you know the drill. Hit the like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you're new to the channel, baby. And whatever you do, stay safe out there, but you already know. Until next time, baby. Peace.
Bye.